All right, we're just waiting for a few people to get on and join, and we'll bring Allison in. So excited to start my first live series. It's been a crazy time during this whole stay-at-home quarantine, so wanted to uplift our Reno-Tahoe community and interview a few people in our community to let everyone know that we're not in this alone. We're all in this together, and that everyone can relate. We're all struggling, and we can get through it together. So let's bring in Allison Keasal. Okay, I think she's coming in.
Hi there.
Hi, how are you?
Good. How are you?
Good. Well, thanks for jumping on with me.
Yeah, of course. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, just wanted to, uplift our Reno-Tahoe community a little bit and interview some local community members, you yourself, and also business owner as a wedding event planner, and just let everyone know that we're all in this together and that we can move forward with this, and just to really understand and learn how other community members and businesses right now are staying resilient through these times. So thanks
Yeah,
for coming on and talking about your business.
of
Um,
course. Definitely.
first, I want to know how you personally, oh, guys, this is what happens when we're doing live videos. Dogs
Right.
around always. I want to know how you personally are coping with all of this.
Yeah, I mean, it's been definitely like waves of emotions and different things, different feelings kind of coming up at different times. But overall, I felt pretty good um, about everything. A lot of things are really uncertain, and but ultimately, we don't really have control over the situation at this point. So there's not much we can do. So it just I'm trying to hang on tight and
Yeah, stay positive.
enjoy the ride.
Yeah. Okay,
Yeah.
one thing before we start, you might kill me for this later, but I'm gonna do it anyways.
Okay.
Okay, so on the count of three, we're both gonna stand up at the same time. Okay, one, two,
Okay.
three. Okay, you're fully dressed. So
Yes.
down. So, I mean, I've been seeing all over with all these Zoom videos and everything, sweatpants on the bottom, business on top. And honestly, Allison, today's the first day that I have curled my hair in probably like 3 or 4 weeks. So,
Yeah.
I'm ready for you.
Yeah. No, this is probably the first time I've put makeup on or done anything in about 2 weeks. It's the last time I went on Instagram Live.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So, I mean, first off, tell us what you do and who you are first.
Yeah, so I'm Allison and I own Forget Me Not Events. And we're a wedding planning company based out of Tahoe. So we service the Reno-Tahoe area. And we do mostly full service planning. So that's kind of our specialty.
Perfect. And then you currently are a bride-to-be right now. So I'm interested, we have a lot of friends who are getting married this summer. Summer's right around the corner. So I want to know how this is affecting you personally, being that you are planning a wedding. I mean, granted, you're a wedding planner, so you have that going for you. So you can have everything planned in like a week. But I mean,
Yeah.
what you've been going through on the personal side before we dive into the business side of it.
Yeah, it's been I really haven't been concerned about my wedding. Once again, I kind of have that mentality of like, there's not much I can do about the situation. So too bad, so sad, like we just
Yeah.
have to move on. So I'm trying to not worry about it too much and think, what plan B would look like for us and how we would, obviously we don't want to wait a whole nother year to get married for a lot of different reasons. But um, I've kind of been thinking through what plan B and C might be for if we do have to postpone.
Yeah. Yeah. And then, I mean, trying to stay positive and keep motivated through these times, I feel like routine is super, super important. So, I mean, on a personal level, what are you doing to
Yeah,
stay sane and keep yourself motivated and, keep it
I
going
know.
today?
Yeah, I pretty much texted you about this every day, but um, I've been trying to use this time to really focus on creating healthy habits as far as like eating and working out. So that's kind of been my biggest focus during this time frame is doing that, and also doing little projects that maybe are things I put off. I just created a list of things, and I've been trying to kind of go through and check those things off one by one
Yeah.
and work out every day. It's funny, my neighbor actually, when life is normal, we go to the same gym. So I'll like text her and I'll be like, at noon, I'm doing the class outside. So she'll be like across the street and we'll like both be working out outside
Oh,
at the same time.
yeah.
Yeah.
And it's so important just to, I feel like keep that routine. And I mean, like I said, this is the first time I've put jeans on and actually got dressed. So maybe that part hasn't been a part of my routine, but just getting up every morning, working out, getting outside, just having that fresh breath of air or something to keep you moving forward and looking forward to the next day, or having that DIY project that you're working on to get up the next morning and be excited to do. So that's good to
Yeah.
hear. And you've been kicking butt, girl. I know you have.
Yeah.
So now into the business side of it. As a business owner, I know that this is your first full year as a business owner for Forget Me Not events. So what are you seeing in the changes of wedding planning right now, and what does the summer look like for weddings?
Yeah, so we're kind of obviously we've postponed a lot of events. Right now, for us personally, we've postponed everything through July. So right now we don't have anything until July. So that's always a little scary and uncertain. But so now it's my dogs barking. But I'm just trying to hold out hope and kind of keep people calm and focused on moving forward with their wedding date as planned, kind of past that June timeframe. As we all know, this is kind of a constantly evolving situation, and we don't really know what the summer is going to look like. And I don't necessarily think it's a very healthy path to go down to be kind of for instance, I read an article yesterday about events, and it kind of outlined what the summer may look like for people. And it's all kind of based off of speculation and what we think maybe is going to happen. But once again, we didn't know this was going to happen, so we don't really know what this is going to look like in 3-4 months from now. But that's kind of a bad rabbit hole to be going down, because it doesn't really do us any good at this point. And I've kind of stuck true to the idea that we really need to try to keep as many wedding dates in place for this year as we can, just because this is a huge, obviously the wedding industry, event industry, a lot of industries are taking like huge hits from this. So as much as we can kind of keep things where they are, we should do it.
Yeah, definitely day by day. I mean, what are you recommending to clients? I mean, I know there could be a potential state mandate allowing only, smaller groups, 50 to 100 people. Does that mean, do you see the wedding industry going towards, smaller group weddings, more intimate, or what are you recommending to clients right now?
Yeah, so right now we're not, until we get better idea about and better clarification on numbers and if things are going to be limited, if there's going to be any requirements or mandates put out, we're trying to just move forward as we normally would. With that being said, though, we're kind of working off like a 60-day time frame. So we're really trying to encourage people to wait until 60 days out from their wedding to start considering postponing. Once again, I know it's not ideal for a lot of people, but it's really important that we try to minimize the impact that this is going to have on the wedding industry as much as possible. So I'm really trying to encourage people to wait till that 60-day period to address whether they're going to start thinking about postponing or canceling, of course, before that time frame, you can think about what does that look like for me. Same things with like the number of people, you know, that's something to consider too. Like, do you want to keep your original wedding date, even if it means you can only have 50 people? So that's kind of things to start thinking about as well, so that you kind of have all scenarios thought through when you get to that point of having to make a decision and really start digging into it. And, you know, one thing we've been telling people is to make like a list of your top 3 priorities for your wedding.
Yeah.
And because that really helps to kind of keep things in focus as you're making backup plans.
Yeah. I was just thinking about when you said list, I was like, well, if you have to drop, you know, you have the A list and the B list.
I'm like,
people, and you know,
I mean, I've thought about it. I'm like, there may be some phone calls. You're no longer invited to the wedding. Sorry.
Yeah, it's tough during these times. You have to do what you have to do, especially if you want to get married. So
yeah,
yeah, it's kind of funny, and not funny,
yeah.
but in a way.
Yeah. Yeah.
So is there anything that you would tell other business owners similar in your similar field right now? What, like, any advice that you would give them?
That was one of the questions that I think is probably the hardest, just because this is such a new thing. I mean, I think just telling people to stay positive as much as possible. I know, I'm sure a lot of people have seen there's been different funding options and relief efforts for small businesses, but being able to access those funds and services has been really frustrating. And I think a lot of people are really getting down on that right now. So it is what it is. It's, you know, messed up, and
nothing we
once again, you know, none of us have control over that. So we just need to like accept it and move forward and try to stay as positive as we can, because it really doesn't help to dwell on things at this point. You just kind of have to put your big girl panties on and
go.
Yeah.
Hypothetically speaking, if smaller weddings are the wave of the future, in your opinion, what are the benefits of a smaller wedding? I mean,
yeah, well, it's definitely way more budget friendly.
I know a big old family, and
yeah,
that's going to be difficult. But you know, I feel like this last year we've seen a trend of a lot of people doing smaller, more intimate weddings, doing elopements, stuff like that. So tell us, you know, what your thoughts are about having smaller weddings.
Yeah, no, I think that I think smaller weddings give you there's a lot of upside to that. You get to spend time with the people that are the most important to you. And while you may have to cut some people off the guest list, and that's a huge bummer, I mean, people will understand this isn't necessarily your choice. This may be a forced kind of scenario that you have to go through. But some of the upsides to that is like you really get to spend time with the people at your wedding and be surrounded by people that are really your support system and celebrating you two getting married. Also, it gives you the opportunity to really focus some of your budget dollars into smaller details and really honing things in. We see a lot of bigger weddings that have to forego some of the smaller details and things that they really want to be able to accommodate their guest size. So this gives you the opportunity to really focus in on the small details and kind of make it truly your dream day. So those are kind of some of the upsides of that. Yeah.
And then right now, is there anything specific that, you know, we can do as a community to support you individually or as a business? What are you doing, or how can we support you during this crazy time?
Yeah, for me, it's a little bit harder because I don't have a service that really applies to everyone. I think for wedding planners and wedding vendors and anyone you're working with, I mean, something to think about is if you have remaining payments, you could go ahead and pay those now. If you're postponing your date, you could split up your remaining payments to put some more dollars in the bank And for some of the other wedding vendors, like photographers and hair and makeup people, I mean, gift cards are a really great option, or going ahead and purchasing a session for a future date for when everything's lifted and returns back to normal. Those are some really great ways to kind of support small businesses, and and also just being super understanding and flexible with things, because it's a really bad situation for all of us to be in, and it is not fun. It's not fun on our end, and as a wedding planner, we're really the liaison between our clients and their vendors, and so we see what everyone's doing, and sometimes there's really hard conversations that have to be had. So being flexible, being understanding, being kind, and realizing that, like, if your vendors are charging some sort of change fee or rescheduling fee, they're not doing that to make money off of this crisis. They're doing that because they need to be able to survive this kind of crisis at this point.
Yeah. And I think as a community member, and as, being that I'm in the event industry as well, I think it's really important to just, hear what people have to say and understand that we're all going through this together, and that whether you're a business, whether you're an entrepreneur, a restaurant, anything helps at this point and during these times. So like you're saying with the deposits, I think that's a really great idea, and to split it up or spread it out. I know that with some of my corporate events, we're giving deposits for events that aren't until December right now, just to secure them as a vendor and give them a little money just during these times. So I think that's a great suggestion. And then, are you offering, obviously you're still booking weddings, are you seeing any new business come in right now?
Yeah, no, we this last week we booked a couple more weddings, one for later this year and one for next year. So we definitely are seeing more business come in. I think people have halted a little bit, but also I think a lot of people understand that eventually life is going to continue on.
Right.
It may look differently, but love is love, and love's going to carry on, and it's going to be, people aren't going to stop getting married just because of this. It's going to continue on at some point.
Yeah, and people are getting engaged right now. I mean, I was saying before, either a couple things. People are going to be having a lot of babies after it's all over. Or
right?
People are going to hate each other and split up because they're stuck with each other. Or you're really going to learn to love your significant other, understand them better, and it's going to be a perfect happy ending, and then they'll call you to book their wedding.
Yeah, no, I saw where Ben Higgins, I think, got engaged the other day.
Yeah.
I mean, people are still getting engaged.
Yeah.
And I'm all for it,
Yeah.
And I think everyone should just carry on planning as they would, and understand that things may look different, than originally anticipated, but we're going to make it through, and life is eventually going to continue on.
Yes. And you're still doing consultations right now, I know. So if anyone has any questions about their weddings, or if they're worried, or if they need advice, you're offering that service to them right now, correct?
Yeah. So for people that don't have a wedding planner, or maybe you do have like a day of coordinator you've already hired, but you want someone to talk to and kind of help you develop an action plan, we are offering 30-minute consultations for $75. So the link to that is in our bio. But yeah, we're just kind of offering that now. That's something we typically don't offer, but we're offering it to kind of just alleviate some of the stress and kind of help you guys find an affordable option to figure out a plan to move forward with a little bit of professional advice and guidance along the way.
Perfect. And how can people reach out to you and find you other than?
Yeah. So obviously on Instagram, Forget Me Not with the K events. And our website is forgetmenotevents.com, and all of our contact info is on there. So feel free to reach out. We've got a lot of time on our hands right now, so you'll get a very quick response.
Yeah. And then what's one last thing that you would leave with a bride who either just got engaged or has a wedding coming up this summer, what's one thing that you would tell her and her groom or her whole family?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think one thing I've been telling my couples is like, at the end of the day, you two are going to get married. And that's what this is ultimately about. And to just take that and really focus on that because it's really easy to get caught up in all the hoopla around it all, especially right now when things aren't panning out the way that we would have hoped that this year would have panned out. So just to really focus on that because ultimately, the entire purpose of a wedding day is that you two are getting married and you're going to start your life together. So that's still going to happen regardless of how it happens. And you just really need to focus on that.
Yeah, that's great advice. Okay, one last thing before we go, because I know it's
okay.
I don't want to bore everyone to death with but okay, we're gonna do a rapid fire. So,
okay.
What are the top 5 things that you're looking forward to after quarantine? Ready?
Going and sitting at a bar.
Okay.
Going back to the gym. Seeing my family. And
come on,
being able to see my friends. And going out to eat.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Allison. Again.
Yeah, thank you, Lindsay.
Forget Me Not Events, and you can find her on Instagram, Facebook, website, forgetmenotevents.com.
.com.
All right. Well, and I appreciate you joining me, and we will see you soon.
All righty. Bye, Lindsay.
Bye.